Salesforce as a strategy. Now, it's all about sales because that's what brings in the revenue, that's what brings in the business in the first place. But Salesforce is such a platform now, as you guys have tagged onto, as so many other partners have built on to the platform itself. And we want to constantly show folks that, great, you've got all this wonderful data in here. And even with contract life management, you've seen in the past where they have the data and then they spit it out in a PDF and walk it down the hall to legal to prepare a contract or to an admin person. So now that it can all be in the same system, again, we're moving beyond sales at this point. What would you say, have you seen other things, either with your product or others, that take Salesforce beyond that sales? How can we use it within our entire company and make it a strategy for our success?
Yeah, so good question. So just like Salesforce is a platform, right? Organizations typically often start Sales Cloud, Service Cloud, right? Very specific parts of the organization, get comfortable with it, and then expand to other functional areas or processes in the organization. SpringCM is a platform in and of itself, right? It's a content management platform. And in the context that we're primarily speaking of today, we're talking about contract lifecycle management, which is an application built on top of the underlying content management platform, right? And so what we typically see in organizations is that they adopt contracts management, say, first, right? And then very quickly, 30, 60 days after they go live, management users really kind of start to internalize what the system's doing and how it's doing it for them. And they start to ask a lot of what-if questions, like, well, what if it could do this, or what if I could do that? And if they bought the system SpringCM to manage, say, sales contracts, pretty quickly procurement and vendor management raises its hand and says, well, hey, I've got contracts on my side of the organization. HR says, well, I got employment contracts, right? Those are contracts too, right? The M&A department says, I've got mergers and acquisitions, right? So just following the kind of the contract theme, there are many other types of contracts in the organization that are natural fits and ways of expanding, right? It's not limited to contracts because really the features on the platform are just features. When you preview a contract in the browser, you could be viewing anything. You could be viewing a resume. You could be viewing a policy or a procedure, right? You could be viewing a piece of marketing collateral. It's just a preview, right? And the same thing is an approval step. If I'm approving a contract and saying, yes, we're done, send it for signature, I could be approving a policy, right? Somebody's been working on updating an internal policy and it needs to get sign-off before we roll it out to the company. You just hit the approve button, right? And all of a sudden there's the approval, the traceability, the history around what's happened with that document, right? So to kind of go back to your original question, what else do they do? Really the focus, right, is get people productive, get them comfortable, get them to be very confident users of the system, and all of a sudden the light bulb goes off and they start thinking about, well, what else can we do with the system? Same thing that happens with Salesforce, right? They bring it into sales, the next thing you know, it's in services and support, right? They're rolling out communities and extending it to their customers and partners and things like that.